Your head is about the same size. You bleed, you cry, you get fat. Your head is about the same size. You bleed, you cry, you get fat. You lie and you cheat and you steal, just like some of us. Just like some of us. Hey there, this is Bruce Lee Money from Thermal and a Quarter, and welcome to another episode of Song Stories, where we talk about why we wrote the songs that we did. Today we'll talk about the song Leaders of Men from our upcoming album, World Gone Mad. Leaders of Men was written in 2016 when the most powerful nation had just elected its new president. Here in India, we'd already had 2 years of our newly elected government, and looking around at the patterns of leadership that seemed to be evolving around the globe, it seemed like some pretty dangerous doors were being opened. And here we are now in 2020, and some worrying things have indeed crawled out of those doors. And every day it seems like truth and reality itself are bent and twisted to serve some essentially transient goals. I guess the idea at the time was to write a song that wasn't angry in a heat of the moment kind of way, but a song that was cold and somewhat detached, but simmeringly furious just the same. Now, Mark Knopfler and Dire Straits have been big influences on me personally, and of course some members of the band. And if you've listened to Knopfler's work across the last 20 years, you'll see instances of this kind of detachment from his subject matter. But all the same, you know he's feeling pretty strongly about what he's writing. That is definitely what underpins Leaders of Men. And most people who listen to the song, the first comment they make sometimes is, hey, you guys like the Dire Straits, don't you? That's what we were going for, and it's a good thing. Your head is about the same size. You bleed, you cry, you get fat. You lie and you cheat and you steal, just like some of us. Just like some of us. With the first verse, what we're trying to capture is the fact that in the democracies that we're supposed to live in, the leaders that we elect are human beings much like the rest of us. And in a sense, they're supposed to serve us rather than rule us. But across the years, living in the walled palaces that they do, surrounded by shoot-to-kill security, the tables have turned somewhat. And now every movement of theirs has so much gravity. Every word, every tweet they put out, even if that tweet is about not tweeting anymore, can send entire media houses into a spiraling tizzy. It's a bit unfair to them, and quite a bit unfair to the rest of us. You were leaders of men, you were leaders of men, bastards now and then, can we say when? Well, speaking of the chorus, there's not too much to read between the lines there. But the second part of it talks about how when we look around and see the things that are going wrong, our response is often as mild and milquetoasty as trying to stop someone from pouring too much tea into your cup. But the point is that despite how mild and ineffective it may seem, we've got to keep doing it. We've got to keep asking the right questions, saying when, and hoping that we don't get scalded too badly. The second verse starts by mocking some of the more grandiose gestures of our elected rulers, and then goes into talking about how history, numbers, data, facts, and even truth are all in the eye of the beholder right now, and how they're all mixed up, mashed together, and formulated into this kind of murky soup that we find ourselves in, bewildered and unsure of what to think, what to say, or what to do. Another defining characteristic of the song is, of course, the bass line that underpins the groove that really sort of drives the song. And I'm lucky enough here today to have Leslie Charles to talk about what he does on Leaders of Men, and let's bring him on. So here we are with Mr. Leslie Charles, bass player with the band and co-writer on so many of these songs. So Les, when we started writing Leaders of Men, when I brought the riff into the jam, the first thing was that it was too much like Mark Knopfler. It was too much a Dire Straits thing, and so we had to get a little bit away from that to try and make it more thermal. And obviously, a tip of the hat to Dire Straits was required because that's where it was coming from. But there was more that had to be done. So yeah, talk a little bit about how you came up with the bass line.
I mean, I heard your guitar line first, you know that. You just play that. So basically, I found spots. It's quite simple. There's nothing much happening here, but you know when you play sustained notes like dum bam, so that is one of the sustained notes you played. So that's why I found a little gap to throw in kind of a line like that.
Yeah, and that's not really a Dire Straits thing.
It's not a Dire Straits.
It's not a Dire Straits thing at all, right? Because that's where you think what were your influences? What were you thinking about?
Just listening to some, because just play the guitar. Yeah, this one was a little straight.
Yeah.
So, but I want to get that. This I don't know. Kind of like a shuffle swing.
Yeah, it is swinging a little bit. Yeah, sure. Okay.
I want to get some of those lines, and that's how I got.
Okay. So yeah, that's
mostly trial and error.
as with all jams, but I really think that the bass line for this song takes it away from the very sort of Dire Straits vibe and into more something that Thermal in a Quarter is known for. And let's just play a little bit more of the tune too. Yeah.
3,
4. Your head is about the same size. You lean, you ride, you get fat. You lie and you cheat and you steal, just like some of us. Just like some of us. Mr. Leslie Charles, everybody. So here we are in our democracies that are meant to be of, by, and for the people, feeling mostly like powerless pawns in the hands of unscrupulous players. And as forces of nature, random chances like the new virus that is sweeping around the globe hit us, making us feel ever more feeble and fragile, we are once again reminded that all our striving and hunger for control and power are just illusions, delusions even. It's a world gone mad. Stay safe, stay careful, wash those hands.